Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We are stamping and chatting this morning. It's great to be here. We're having a nice little snowstorm in Minnesota, so it's all cozy inside. I'm glad I don't have to be out in it. Hello, Mary Ellen. Hello, Jean. Hello, Diana. So nice to see all of you. Welcome. We're going to make such a pretty card today. Hi, Kimberly. It's great to have you here. Thank you for joining us. Oh my goodness, so many of you sharing. You know what? I have to let the kitty in, so I am just going to take a quick little break here and do that, or he's just going to meow at the window for the entire time I'm doing this. So just give me a second. I'll scoot him into the other room so he doesn't bother us. Sorry about this. Here's my kitty. First time on a Facebook Live, some more. What do you think about that? Make sure you guys can see him. He's all cold and wet from the snow. So I'm gonna put him in the other room just a second. All right, so I think we can go ahead and get started. I'm just gonna share with you, my name is Kate Kaltoff. I've actually been a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator since 2007. I had no idea when I joined Stampin' Up! That it would become a huge part of my life and actually become a great career for me. So it's been really fun and interesting and exciting, and you know what? I never get tired of it. Every day is a new day, and it's just, you know, to be able to work with stamps, ink, and paper on a regular basis is just, I don't know how I could have a better job. It just ticks all my boxes. So, hello! Oh yes, we have so many watching. So there's a great starter kit special right now on there with Stampin' Up! So next week in my Happy Stampers Stamping to Share group, it's on Facebook. It's an open group so anyone can come watch. On Wednesday at 1 o'clock, I am going to share with you the make and takes that my team is going to be doing for the month of January, because I always send my team make and takes if they wish to get them. And I'm going to share those with you in this Happy Stampers group, and I'll take any questions about, you know, becoming a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, or questions you might have, things that might hold you back, things that maybe you're thinking about it, but you're just not sure about that last step of actually doing it. So we're going to talk a lot about that. And then I'll actually show you how to do the make and takes. I'll just run through how to do them. So we'll put a card to, actually we'll put 2 cards together, and then I will do 3 giveaways. And I might even throw some other giveaways in there when you ask questions about what I do. So be sure to join us. That will be on Wednesday. I have to see what day is that. That will be the 20th at 1 o'clock in our Happy Stampers Stamping to Share group. So I hope lots of you join me for that. Okay, I am going to share this card right now, and it's pretty much a catalog case. So I am going to go ahead and flip the camera down, and we'll get started making this beauty. All right, so let's go ahead and we're going to make this. We're also going to be using the Seashells embossing folder. This is a 3D folder. So nice. So this is what's going to really give these shells their texture. So the first thing to recreate this card that we're going to need to do is cut down the pearlescent paper. I actually initially cut it down to, let me just show you here. It's actually initially cut to, I wish I would have made a marker for this, but I didn't. It's actually 4 by 6 inches. That's my first cut. That way you're able to get 6 pieces of paper out of every single sheet of pearlescent paper, because there's only 2 sheets per pack. So you want to maximize the amount of cards that you're making. So I did cut this down to 4 by 6 to make 6 cards from each sheet, which allows you to make 12 cards that would look exactly like this card here. Then what I did is I cut off this section because this is going to go as an accent on the inside panel of our card. So I'm going to set that aside for now because we're not quite there yet. Then what I'm left with is a 4 by 5.5 inch panel, and that's the panel that we're working with. And so the first thing that you will need is the die. So the die includes one really big die and then several smaller dies. So the die that we're using today is this bigger die, and it doesn't quite fit perfectly on this size, but that didn't matter because I was going to make it work, because I wanted to maximize the amount of images that I would be able to get from my designer series paper. Because the problem is I can just barely make this fit from top to bottom at 5.5 inches tall. However, if you look on the sides, there's a little bit of overhang in some of these spots. I'll flip it over. Well, you'll never see it on this side, I don't think, because it's just so minor. The overhang is so minor. But I'm going to hold the card up. I think, yes. Is there overhang? I might have smoothed out the leaves where I did end up cutting just a tinge off. Oh well, I can't find it right now because I think I took a scissors and smoothed it out. Maybe I have it on some of these that I've pre-cut. Oh, I do. So let me just show you. I'm going to take a mat here. I'm going to bring this up to the camera. So you might notice that right there, that's cut off. A little bit of overhang just in that one spot. And then also there's just a little bit of overhang right there, which gets cut off because it's just a teensy bit too small. But you know what? It doesn't matter because you can take a scissors and smooth those little areas out. But, you know, it's not worth it to cut it a little bigger than the die, because then you don't get as many cards out of one sheet of designer series paper. So I thought I could manage that and get more cards for my money. Okay, so then what you're going to do is you're going to take this, you're going to measure it up as best you can, and then you're going to have something that looks like this. It's not very exciting. Let me show it to you here on a background. It looks nice, but it's really flat. Of course, it has the pearlescence, but this is where the 3D embossing folder makes such a huge and amazing difference. And so what you're going to do is you're going to take this and you're going to open up your 3D folder, and you just line it up over the top so everything fits. Then you shut it. Whoops. And what you can do too is just add a teeny bit of washi tape if you're worried about it not lining up. But once you have it lined up, then you just shut it like this and you run it through your Stampin' Cut an emboss machine or whatever embossing machine that you happen to have on hand. And when you take them out, look. Oh my gosh. I'm going to hold it up to the camera so you can see just how incredibly stunning and gorgeous this is. So there's really, I mean, it's just so beautiful, even just like this. Oh, look at that. You can even kind of see the shimmer. I'm so impressed. My camera lens must be clean today. But yes, look at all those hearts coming up. You guys are loving this. All right, so now we are going to take our blending brush and we're going to do all our blending. So let me grab a piece of scrap paper here. And I'm going to do both of these, and I'm going to use the color on both of them. So what I wanted to do is use all of these different colors. So let me just go through the colors that we're using. I'm going to be starting with the very lightest color, which is So Saffron. Then the next color that I'm going to work with will be the next one, which is Pear Pizzazz. And then I have to kind of pick which one I think is the next one I want to work with. And I'm going to pick Flirty Flamingo. And then the final color that I'll put down will be the Seaside Spray. So we're going to open up the So Saffron first. I'm going to get my little blending brush, and I'm just putting it right into the ink pad so that I have some color on the bottom of the blending brush. And I'm going to do this bigger shell right here. It's pretty easy. You just put color onto your brush and you swirl it around. I'll hold it up. Let me grab my little thing here. And you, just like that, have color right on the pearlescent paper. And you can make that darker or lighter. It just, as many times as you blend is how it's going to come out, either darker or lighter. I'm just going to go with kind of a medium look. All right, and then I'm going to add just a little bit more here to this one. All right, then once you have that color used, what I do is I just take any excess color off by rubbing it on my scrap paper. And then I'm going to shut this up, and we're going to open up the next one, which is Pear Pizzazz. And again, I'm just going to put the color directly onto my blending brush. And this time I'm going to lightly color all of those leaves. So we're just going to go in wherever I see leaves and add a little Pear Pizzazz. And you can see how easy this is to do. It's nice because when you're actually using a sponge, the problem is a little bit, you know, you're getting your hands into it. With the blending brushes, you get to keep your hands away from the actual ink, so it's not quite as messy. And the results are very smooth. So we're going to go ahead and do the same thing with this one. And you know, anytime you get a new tool and you're not really sure how to work with it, I just say, you know, pick it up, put some ink on it or whatever the tool calls for, and just start experimenting. I mean, when I got these blending brushes, I really had no idea how to use them. You can use them for a lot more than just putting ink on your projects. You can make kind of a little mixture of different little paints that you might have and put those on. I mean, there's a lot of different things you can do. And then it's so easy to clean the brush. You just rinse it under water and it's ready to go for your next project. So again, take the excess color off. And then the next thing we're going to work with is Flirty Flamingo. So now I'm going to put some color on, and we're just going to add a little bit of color to this shell here. And then I've got another shell down here I want to add some color to, and I think we'll do this little one right here. And then we'll go ahead and get the other one, and I'm leaving one shell to put our Seaside Sand onto. There we go. Then we're going to, you know what, maybe I'll make this one, you know what, I think I'll add a little more color to these two smaller shells. So I'm going to grab Melon Mambo, just because I want a little more pop. In fact, my card actually has some Melon Mambo in the sentiments. So I'm just going to add a little touch of Melon Mambo to these smaller shells. Boy, that really makes it pop, doesn't it? There we go. So again, just take the excess off. And you know, the whole time you're doing this, you're going to think, oh, this is too messy. I'm not getting it perfect. Don't worry about that. I promise it's all going to look amazing when you put the card together. Okay, so let me close up some of these ink pads here. And the final thing that we're going to do is add some Seaside Spray. So again, just add a little, I know, don't look at the bottom of your brush. It will freak you out. For some reason, I don't have problems with my colors getting muddy, but it sure looks like it when you look at the bottom of the brush. But there we go. We have a lovely, what is the name of this color? Let me just double check again. Seaside Spray. We have a lovely blue right here, and it's not muddy at all. So we're going to do one more. You'd think it would be with all those different colors on the brush, but it's not. I don't know. It's like magic. There we go. So pretty. All right, let me put that brush away. I'm going to just take any excess off. Look, there's hardly anything to take off. See that? Wow, it's just amazing. But when you run it under a sink with a little cool water, it just all rinses right off. It's amazing. All right, I'm going to put this back on my little showcase piece here and hold it up to the camera so you can kind of see what this looks like once everything's been colored. Yeah, pretty stunning, isn't it? Really fun. All right, I'm going to close this up, and now we're going to go ahead and do a little bit more stamping here, and we'll start assembling this card. So there is another set of dies that I'm using, and that set of dies is the Tasteful Labels dies. This turns out, this is a great set of label dies for sentiments. It really does fit a lot of different sizes of sentiments, and I love it. I find myself grabbing it quite a bit. Here are a couple of little cuts that I made from Whisper White paper, and this is what I'm going to stamp with Malin Mambo ink. Uh-oh. I just got ink all over my finger. Hold on. Because you know what happens if you get ink on your finger, it goes right onto your cards. And you know what? I'm giving these cards away, so I can't have them messed up. They're going to you. So to get into the drawing, it's so easy. Just comment, let me know where you're watching from. Maybe share this video with your friends on your timeline. Come back, let me know you shared. It's all good. It's all ways to get into the drawing. All right, and I'll do that probably next week on Tuesday. All right, so I'm going to put this on here. I just inked it up with Melon Mambo, and there we have it. Friends are like seashells. You collect them along the way. And again, that's Melon Mambo ink. And I'm stamping it on a Tasteful Labels die cut with Whisper White paper. Or I should say basic white paper. They've changed the name. There we go. So pretty. And I'm going to set those aside for a second. We have another little bit of stamping to do because we're going to be assembling here pretty soon. So we've got to have our card base. So the card base is Blushing Bride. It's cut at 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. I'm going to fold it, and then I'm going to use my bone folder to make a nice crisp fold. And then we're going to stamp our inside panel. So for the inside panel, it just makes sense to use this sentiment, which says, I'm so happy I found you. So we're going to stamp this right here. I usually go about 1/3 of the way down. And then we'll finish out the inside panel as long as we've got our strips of paper here, and we're ready to go with that too. So remember those little pearlescent extras that come when you cut your 4 by 6 paper down to 5.5 by 4? Well, you get a 1/2 inch strip left over. That's perfect for your inside panel. So these are 1/2 inch by 4 inches. And I'm going to take some Stampin' Seal here. We're just going to set this at the bottom of each of our card bases here on the inside panel. So pretty, so elegant. And then we are going to use something that you'll get a full pack of in your kit to go. We are going to use these lovely shimmery stickers that look so beautiful. So I think, I don't know, I can just pick any of these. I think I'll pick one of these pink ones and set it right here. So partially on the pearlescent piece and then partially on your cardstock. So there's a pink one, and then I think I'll do a yellow one. And we'll just set that in also right here. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. So that finishes out the inside of your card. When you're mailing this off, it's kind of nice to decorate your envelope with one of these stickers too, because look how many stickers you get. It's quite a few. Just super nice. All right, so what's the next step here? Let me look. Okay, we need some Sand and Sea Designer Series paper, which I have prepared. This is 4 by 5 1/4. Wondering if I have that. Hold on, I gotta see if I have my whole pack ready to show. I meant to show this. Oh my gosh, it's so beautiful. Look at these beautiful colors, you guys. Oh, it just makes my heart sing every time I look at this paper. So we are using that. We're going to use this gorgeous marbled paper here, marbled in the most beautiful colors. We've got the So Saffron, we've got Flirty Flamingo, we've got Melon Mambo. It's just so beautiful. And we have this cut at 4 by 5 1/4, so it's your standard cut that you would use on the front of a card base. And we can just go ahead and put this right down. So I'm going to use a little bit of multi-purpose liquid glue all the way around, and we're going to set this right onto our card panel. Yeah. Philomena's saying such soft looking paper. She's right. It's soft and gorgeous. You know, everything is muted after being in the sea, so it only makes sense. I think I'll put this one like this. Or no, maybe I will keep it like this. I don't know. Any way you do it is going to look beautiful. Okay, so here we go. We have these attached to the front of our card base. The next thing we need to do is attach our vellum. Now in the catalog, they did not use vellum. I'm going to show you. You can just put it straight on like that if you want to, but I kind of liked the softening look of the vellum, so I went ahead and I'm using the cardstock vellum that Stampin' Up! Sells. Just adds one more layer of softness to all of this. This is 3 3/4 by 5 inches, so you'll get a nice border all the way around. And I'm going to just keep my, I'm just going to keep it, what am I trying to say? I'm going to keep the adhesive in the center. Because that will all be covered up by my seashells and my sentiment. All right, so there we go. There's the first one down. We'll do the second one. So I just do 3 short little strips in the center. Flip it over and then just set this in. Just adds a nice layer of softness. There it is. Beautiful. Then what we're going to do is we're going to layer over the top with our beautiful shells that we've sponged. So I'm going to turn that over, and I'm actually going to put this on with multi-purpose liquid glue because there's very, whoops, hold on. Have to get it started. There's some pretty big areas here that will work well for putting glue down. And that will hold it in place. So what I want to do is I just want to go to these kind of outer edges. And I'm just adding some little dots of glue to the back here. Well, bigger areas of glue and the bigger areas, and then just little dots of glue on some of these leaves to keep the leaves down so that when you put it in the envelope, your leaves aren't getting folded back, because they'll be just attached just enough to stay in place. So I'm going to flip this over and we'll center this in like so. So gorgeous. Oh my goodness. Then we're going to do the same thing for this one. Again, I'm just adding some dots. For some reason, my glue is being kind of wonky today, and I think it's because we have a big low pressure. As I mentioned, we're getting a little bit of a snowstorm here. Anytime you have like a big pressure change with the weather, it can affect the way your glue comes out of your bottle. Sometimes it means you have to squeeze a little harder. Sometimes you barely have to squeeze at all and the glue just comes shooting out. A lot of times that's related to the weather and what the atmospheric pressure is doing. It's kind of crazy. I remember one time I took my glue bottle with me to a Stampin' Up! Event, and I was on an airplane with my glue. I had it packed in my luggage. When I got to the hotel and I was going to work on making some swaps, I opened up my bottle of glue, and then I just had it sitting like this, but the cap was off, and then I was just chatting and, you know, unpacking some things, or looking for some things was probably more like it. And I came back and the glue was like a volcano. All of it came out, and I had glue, just a whole pile of glue. It was like a volcano. It was the craziest thing. So I learned never to travel with glue. Now I just bring Stamp and Seal with me when I go on an airplane. Oh, look at how gorgeous this is, you guys. So beautiful. All right, now for one of the finishing touches here, we're going to take some of this absolutely stunningly beautiful Blushing Bride metallic ribbon. I think it looks like sand sparkling in the sunshine. So let me get my scissors here. I want to cut this end so it looks a little neater. And then what you want to do is you just want to cut it a little bit, hold on, I did this wrong. There we go. Just cut it so it goes across the front of your card like so. Do the same thing over here. There we go. And then we're just going to set that in right over our sentiment. So to put this in, I am going to use my silicone mat. Everybody's got to have one of these because adhesive doesn't stick to it. I'm going to flip these little ribbon pieces over, and I'm going to use my Stampin' Seal to add a little bit of adhesive to the back. Whoops, there we go. It rolled up a little bit. Be careful with that. There we go. So now we have adhesive on both of the ribbons. We're just going to set this right a little bit below center. So about right here. We'll do the same thing over here. Just a little bit below center. Now we're going to take our sentiment that's going on the front and we're going to add dimensionals to this. I'm going to keep the dimensionals away from the center part because I don't want them interfering with the ribbon. I don't like it when my centerpiece is a little rocky from being on a ribbon. So I always try to avoid putting my dimensionals where the ribbon is. Unless, of course, you're holding the ribbon in place with dimensionals, but I don't very often do that. I'll use Scotch tape or Stampin' Seal before that. All right, then you just center this in right over the top of that ribbon panel and press down. Don't worry, there's one more finishing touch. You guys are giving me so many nice likes and hearts. Thank you. But the finishing touch is still coming. I know it looks pretty finished already, but we're going to add one more thing to make this look amazing. So another thing you get in the kit to go is a full set of opal rounds. These opal rounds are stunning in every single way possible. And I have one that's open. Here it is. There's smalls and larges. So we're going to take a large, and I still don't have my take your pick tool where it's supposed to be. So I'm going to take my scissors again. And I'm going to take one of these large opal rounds with my scissors, just pop it onto the bottom here. And we're going to set this right here, kind of where this little spot is. Oh my gosh, that just makes the perfect finishing touch. Now this is probably not something that's you're able to pick up in a video, but oh my gosh, it is so amazing and gorgeous in real life. We're just going to put one little opal round as an accent on this card, and it looks stunning. Just amazing. It's so pretty. And again, this is something that doesn't show up so great on a video, but it looks absolutely amazing when you're holding the card in person. So here are the 3 beautiful cards, all inspired by the catalog. And I'll be giving away 2 of them on Tuesday. So be sure that you're sharing and commenting and let me know that you've watched this video. I appreciate you guys. Don't forget, if you want to get my January Friends Are Like Seashells card kit to go, there's 2 levels. A basic kit, if you already have this and you're a demonstrator, you can get the basic kit from me, or you can get the deluxe kit, which includes not only everything in the basic kit, which is quite a lot, but it also includes the bundle, which looks like this, and it includes the, let me get it here, the 3D embossing folder that coordinates. You guys have a great day. I truly appreciate you. You're awesome, you're wonderful, and I'll see you back here on Tuesday with another Facebook Live.